Hey, welcome back to the channel if you are returning. If this is your first time, my name is Mac in my garage, and before us is Irene, my 1970 Plymouth Custom Suburban station wagon. This car's a literal boat! What the heck? The recipient of a multitude of projects that I've featured on the channel. Today is no exception. In the last video, we repaired a brake drum issue that I was having on my pickup truck. Today we have yet another mechanical issue that has surfaced on the station wagon. Just get right into it and I'll tell you exactly what's going on. And taking a quick glance underneath the hood, we find that she still has her original LA Series small block 318 V8, and it is a tired motor, but it's still going. Here's the issue that I've run into. I've had a pretty noticeable little clunking noise that was coming from the front of the motor. Maybe it was piston slap, something other than that. Kind of just scratching my head going through every single possible issue. And one thing that I didn't recognize was the water pump. Sure enough, what I ended up doing next was I took off the belt for the accessory drive. It doesn't have any accessories except for the alternator here. Took off that belt, and sure enough, that noise went away when I fired up the motor and let it run for a couple minutes. But this definitely has some play to it. If you give it enough of a wiggle, you can almost kind of hear the noise. And then we'll remove the belt, and that way you can hear it without. You can probably actually hear it better now, but we'll just spin it one way. It's very faint, but you can tell that would be definitely amplified when the motor is spinning at, around 600 RPM in idle. First thing we're gonna have to do is drain the radiator, and that's why I've got my little painted tarp on the floor to catch any of the excess, because Lord knows that it's not gonna go all in my little drain pan.
The drops of coolant's passed.
And then we should be able to remove the fan. Thankfully, I should have enough room that I do not need to remove the radiator out of this vehicle. Thank God for magnets. Great, and now with the fan out of the way, I've got everything just kind of sectioned over in the corner here. We can get to the best part of the whole job. And with my luck, the small amount of time that I had the motor running, this is going to be pretty hot. Not like scalding hot, but hot enough that it would be annoying if it touches me. I feel like I've been here before. Remember, what you can do too is you can actually save some of the coolant if it's not too dirty and it's not too bad. All the electrolytes you need right there. Got the iron from the block. All right, over on the floor here, I've got the new water pump, and it does come with the gasket, and I'm not seeing, there's no wiggle back and forth play. And I think if we look on the back side of this one, this impeller actually has 8 fans profile of the water pump. We can see that the mounting points for all the bolts are not necessarily all on the same plane. So as I start taking off the bolts for the water pump, we'll just go ahead and put the bolts there that I take them off into the corresponding holes in the new one. Just fast forward a little ways and we've got all the bolts removed. And like I said, just putting them exactly where they need to be. Some of the washers that are on these, this one's a little bit thicker. That's because this point actually sits a little bit lower. Now we should be able to just pull that old water pump off with a gasket and see what's going on in there. And just for comparison, we got the new pump is an 8 fan. This one is a 6. This impeller is just shot, and you can definitely seen better days, but that's why we got the new unit to put in. So what we're actually going to be doing is we're going to be actually painting the water pump, and the only reason I'm doing so is because I'm just not a fan of like the super shiny aluminum look, especially throwing this onto a motor that looks like that. So what I did buy was some Chrysler blue engine paint in a really old spray paint can, and I'm probably just going to give a few light coats, dusting back and forth. Yeah, wow, that has definitely seen better days. Look at the pitting on that. Wow, man. But it's the original water pump. Look at that. You can see the Chrysler part number and the little Pentastar logo. She served her purpose for 55 years. Nice. We'll clean up all the bolts too, and we'll paint the bolts. There we go. All right. All right, so I've got a couple areas taped off. I bought this can of the Chrysler blue engine paint, but the only reason, again, that I am doing this, if not for leaving it the way that it is and just bolting it, I don't like the look of the aluminum, and that's just my personal taste on it, and have it not just stand out as blatant as it does. Try to mimic the weathered look that the rest of the timing chain cover has. The only way that I would really want to do this correctly was if I had the entire motor out of the car and I could just paint the whole thing and have the whole thing look fresh and do everything in one go versus kind of piecemealing painted parts together. So that's how we're doing it. What we can do is we can just try to kind of box it in from the wind. Oh, it looks good. It looks too good. Dang it. It's gonna be like a brand new water pump. Oh well, I tried. Yeah, it's just all misting right back onto the car. That's what I get. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Oh well, I have clay bars and steel wool, and I'm sure I'll polish the car in the next day or so. We'll just do a mock-up real quick, and oh my gosh, is it too new. Bummer. We're gonna go ahead and clean up all the bolts. And because this water pump is shot, I'm actually probably just gonna be able to use this almost as a stand so I can paint them. I'll just take them one at a time, clean this dirt off. I'm gonna get some gloves because this is gonna be dirty. And if nothing else, at least the tops and a little bit of the sides and the washers are painted the same color. Install the new gasket, put some thread sealer around the bolts that need for the water jacket. And so I got some of this specific water pump and thermostat housing gasket maker from Permatex. Apply some gasket maker to the actual timing chain cover as well. Place this on there like so. Just make sure that gasket isn't being moved too much. And then all of the other holes will get some RTV onto the bolt. Okay, we are down to the final two bolts, and the reason why I waited to do these ones last is because these also hold both of the brackets for the alternator. This little triangular piece should seat up against that first kind of arm that is for the tensioner is to go on top of it, just like so. Just like that. I am super sweaty. I got the sun coming in just because the garage faces the west, so we're getting the sun all the remainder of the afternoon. It's hot. I need something to drink and something to eat. So with that being said, we will return the following day when the gasket maker has set up properly to fill it back up with fluids, and hopefully there should be no leaks. So I shall see you in a day from now. Well, it's official. I'm 1 day older, but that also is the same for the gasket maker that we've got going on for the water pump. What we're going to do is just go ahead and tighten down the bolts. The blue paint on this thing really stands out, I think, a little too much from the timing chain cover and the intake manifold, but is what it is. And then we'll go ahead and we'll fasten the rest of the hoses back into place. I've already got the lower radiator hose cinched up and good to go. Then move on to the front pulley and the fan assembly. And with all the hoses back down in place, I think probably the next best course of action before I decide to throw the alternator and the fan and the pulley assembly back onto the motor, we'll go ahead and grab our coolant here. And we'll just start filling it back up. On to the next gallon. Well, that's terrible. I just had the piece of the tinfoil little wrapper on the lid just fall off into the bottle. I think I have a skimmer. Yeah, there we go. I actually overfilled it, and then I had a whole bunch of overspill down the side of the radiator, which is always super nice. I squeeze the hose where we can see. Air bubbles starting to get worked out. Try to work some of that down. But so far so good. and I actually just had this little piece of paint chip off on me after I had to brake clean away the excess of the coolant that had spilled back behind this hose. I had to tighten down this hose, and the brake cleaner and then a towel to wipe it away just took this ceramic paint right off. It'll probably match with the rest of the engine again in no time. With a little bit of product and microfiber towel, you can get a pretty decent result. It took me maybe 10-15 minutes to just polish this out to this level. Not perfect, still shows some wear and some age, but it's a nice clean gloss. A couple of products like some rubbing compound and some wax on a microfiber, polish it up pretty nice, and this will look just fine going back on the front of the motor. Yeah, that doesn't look bad at all. All right, and now with daylight fading pretty fast, we've got our super expensive high-dollar lighting setup here perched over the engine, and check for leaks as we try to burp out the rest of the air from the system. Without further ado, I give you the 318.
Let it run for maybe 5-6 minutes now, and so far nothing. You can cycle some of the fluid and it'll start to suck back some of the fluid from the overflow tank.
Well, we've let it run for just a little bit, and what I'm going to do now is just pretty much clean up because I've got a little bit of everything out in the garage floor. And we'll back it out of the garage, and then we'll take it down the road, and we'll see if it has any leaks while it's under load. Then that should do it. And with no leaks from the water pump after just driving it around for a little while, I think now's as good a time as ever to go ahead and wrap things up. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to go ahead and click on the video and watch until the end if you made it this far. I understand it's not the most exciting job, but it had to be done. Leave a comment down below telling me what you enjoyed about the video or disliked. No matter the case, I'm always pretty privy to responding to everybody who does. Be sure to leave a like. Please consider subscribing to the channel. It is always a blast to be able to put these videos together and to edit them, and I sincerely hope that you enjoyed it all the way throughout. We have got more projects in the future, so stay tuned on more to be completed with Irene. It is always a privilege to be able to work on a vehicle of this vintage. Until next time, take care and God bless. I am utterly convinced that most, if not all, brand new condensers, even out of the package, are absolute garbage. And I had another one fail on me prematurely, fresh out the box, for my pickup truck, which is exactly why I bought. So this is an original OEM Mopar condenser. Even has its own little part number and another little Pentastar logo. This is the one we're putting in the truck. So you know what that means we're going to do with the other one? This garbage one that supposedly was brand new? You know what this means? Do you know what this means we're going to do with this one? Are you sure you know what this means? Do you know what this means we're going to do with this one? Do you know? Do you understand what this means? Tired of these things, man. Always going out on me.